evening from Swansea, wrestling fans. I'm your host, Ben Allison, and you are watching Wrestling Republic's daily broadcast, your one-stop shop for professional wrestling insight, news, and reviews on a daily basis. And today it's Monday, and you know what that means. It means we're going to be answering your questions as part of Mailbag Monday, in addition to talking about today's big headline. And of course, that headline is this Rey Fénix situation, which has made AEW's already bad perception problem this month a lot worse. It's not going good for them right now. We're going to talk about it. How can they solve this issue? How can they have more positive, things going on about them in the media rather than all this negativity? And also, the big question, should Tony Khan just free Rey Fénix? But before we get into that, I need to introduce today's panel. And today, it's a two-man show. Joining me once again this week, we have Clark Taylor. How are you, Clark?
Two Mic City once again. I've been a part of a lot of two mics lately, and I'm stoked to be here as always. Happy Monday. I mean, we just got a letter. I wonder where it's from. Blues Clues reference out of the way. It's Mailbag Monday. Let's get into it. I'm stoked.
Absolutely. I mean, we can't go a Monday without hearing one. That's true. Shard saying, let Big Boom AJ squash Rey Fénix. Maybe that's a solution. Maybe that's how you fix this. I'm sure that'll go down well. Numero One Superfly says hello. Hello. Happy Monday to you, Numero One. And we got Rosario in here early today, 20 minutes
Eating
early.
everybody to the punch.
Absolutely. I love that. But let's immediately jump into this Rey Fénix situation, shall we? Because first things first, I'm going to talk about the facts, right? Yesterday, this all started because Rey Fénix tweeted out, "No one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment." Of course, this comes after the news that Rey Fénix AEW contract was extended while Penta was able to leave the company because he wasn't injured, so he didn't get any injury time added on. This led to last night, Dr. Chris Featherstone, PhD, releasing basically a report, a scoop, a dirt sheet gossip, whatever you want to call it, on the Lucha Brothers, saying that the Lucha Brothers were claiming that the reason that Fénix's contract was extended had nothing to do with WWE interest, and instead was something else, which would be a quote-unquote real story that would come out, and it would be a quote-unquote huge injustice. At this point, I thought to myself, who is this Dr. Chris Featherstone, PhD? Is he just, is he even a real doctor? I don't know. I want to be honest, I didn't believe it, right? I then woke up this morning to Rey Fénix replying to that tweet, saying, so far the most accurate comment. And saying, unfortunately, due to contractual issues, I cannot speak now, but I will have my time. Basically confirming the report, which, to be fair, Dr. Chris Featherstone said came from them, and Fénix basically just confirmed it. But he did speak a few hours later. He very simply tweeted out, "I needed a doctor, and you ignored me for months." And then, well, it all went bad, didn't it? AEW's comment sections were full of just hashtag free Fénix, CM Punk was right, all of this stuff. Some people were saying that AEW were deleting comments. Well, me and Archie looked into that. We tried it ourselves. They did not delete our comments, so I don't think they are deleting comments. I think that might be false, unless they've just stopped doing it since. But what we do know was at the All-In Media event today, there was a massive free Fénix sign, which kept getting shown. Oh, it's not good, is it, right? Because over the last few weeks, this has happened. Obviously, we had the Ryan Nemeth thing last week where he revealed about the situation with CM Punk and said him and Punk resolved things, and he's got nothing negative to say about Punk now, but he's got a lot negative to say about how AEW dealt with the issue and how he felt like he was silently fired. Of course, we've also got the Ricky Stark situation, which is a ticking time bomb. And then to make matters worse, AEW's closest allies, New Japan Pro Wrestling, their lead English commentator is tweeting, basically throwing disses at them over the fact that New Japan aren't promoting New Japan Pro Wrestling's co-event that they're doing soon together, whereas New Japan always did promote Forbidden Door. So, why aren't AEW doing it back? They should do. Their talent on the card. If that was part of the deal, then why aren't AEW doing it? It's clearly rubbing New Japan Pro Wrestling the wrong way. Here is the thing. Every single day right now, it feels like there's one negative scoop after one negative scoop about AEW. For every good one, there's two bad ones. It is a blatant perception problem. One of the biggest issues about it is, in 2019, if you watched the Tony Khan interview, he sounded like he was being honest. He sounded like he was being genuine. He sounded like he would be happy to talk about anything, basically. But clearly, the people in his ear, his lawyers, whatever you want to say, are clearly saying to him, hey, you can't answer these questions now. And that's why he started over the last few years giving more and more political answers, to the point where if you tune in to a press conference with him now, he sounds almost like a robot. And I'm a big Tony Khan fan. I really am. I think he gets way too much hate, but he sounds like a politician right now. I think he just needs to handle this head on. I want to hear from Tony Khan. Go on a podcast. Say your side of the story, right? Hell.
Oh no, did that cut Ben off? What? Ben, are you there?
I am back now.
Okay.
There we are. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Sorry, it took me a second to
Perfect.
even do the camera cut. That's my fault. I just was like
No, that's
confused.
completely
I
my
couldn't
fault
tell
there.
if it was on my end or yours.
I was in the middle of it then. When
You
did I
were
get cut
on a
off?
roll. The guy was on fire.
I know.
I was enamored.
Okay. But where was I?
Oh, I mean, you were in the middle of it. It was a lot about the public perception stuff by the time that it cut off the first time.
Oh gosh. Well, you can hear me again now, can't you?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. And I'll get it sorted. The wires come out of that. I'll get that sorted. I'm going to pass it over to you in just a second. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, basically, to summarize, this perception problem is getting worse and worse. It happens more and more. And every time, there's something, Tony Khan just needs to get ahead of it, basically. He needs to start being honest again. I want to hear from Tony, the real Tony Khan. And when we hear from the real Tony Khan, I think people are going to feel for him a bit more and protect him a bit more as well. But I think right now they are in a really, really tough spot. As for freeing Rey Fenix, they've just got to let him go. They've got to just let him go right now. The reason for that is WWE are selling out shows. They're doing fantastic business. They're doing, best of all time business in this industry right now. Rey Fenix, Pentagon Jr. are not going to be a game changer. They are not going to kill AEW. They are not going to, turn WWE into the, killing AEW, whatever, right? They're not going to be that big of a game changer. But what they are doing right now is, and same with Ricky Starks, them still being in the company is hurting AEW. So for that reason, just free them. That's my perspective. Clark, what's yours?
So when it comes to this situation, this is difficult because I'm a huge fan of the Lucha Brothers, and what they want to do with their careers, I'm cool with. They've given us so much great work, whether it be AAA, whether it be, Lucha Underground, AEW, everything that they've done and accomplished is off the charts. But I will say this, it bothers me because it feels like a big pile on, and it feels like this is still a part of this receipt from when there was that 5-minute flash in the pan that AEW was the cool kids on the block, and everybody that was like, I don't want a new company, that was a WWE fan, got offended by AEW acting like they were cooler for that flash in the pan time. From a business perspective, look, if you signed a contract, you signed a contract. Rey Fenix signed a contract just like Penta did. And, there were some explosive words from Rey Fenix when it came to this situation. Rey saying inhumane treatment, that sounds like a legal issue. If you signed a contract, that's not a tweet. That's a legal issue, right? If a clause in your contract was broken, and you feel it's inhumane, it's either conjecture or it's not. And to me, I think it's such a quick reactionary move to jump in because of his comments. He may have commented them in frustration because, understandably, if you signed a contract that you have to play out, and maybe you didn't fully look at the terms, maybe you didn't understand the terms, but it is a difficult feeling to look the other way and realize, man, would it be great if I could debut with my brother on this other show like our plan was, but I can't. And a lot of that, I think, came from frustration. The perception, I understand, it hasn't looked good for AEW in a lot of situations. We're also looking at a company where, because of how new it is, anybody that hasn't had success, generally speaking, and I don't want to go full absolutes, but generally speaking, has commented negatively. It's a heck of a lot easier to do it there than it is WWE, given it's the epitome of the industry. It's the center of the industry, and has been for 30 years. If your dream's to go to WWE, you're less than likely to comment negatively about your experience there, whether it was positive or negative. From a public relations standpoint, yes, public relations is the larger issue at hand here when it comes to this situation with AEW and the Lucha Bros, and I think deeper than that, as Ben explained. But I don't also think it's fair to quickly just jump to conclusions, because if he was being treated inhumanely, this is a lawsuit. That means contract was broken. And the deal is, if you sign a contract that says you have to do this, you signed a contract that said you had to do this, you're stuck. And it sucks. And from a public relations standpoint, that probably looks worse too. But at the end of the day, I think this is just muddy waters. We'll see the Lucha Bros in WWE eventually. But I don't think this is something that Tony Khan could fully control or anything like that.
I mean, it's 100% true. Tony Khan could not have controlled this situation. At the same time, I need to clarify something. The Lucha Brothers are massively denying the fact that they were in talks with WWE or anything like that. And in addition to that, by the way, I do have the Wi-Fi back now. In addition to that, I don't know. I don't think that it's necessarily, if they're talking, is that actually contract tampering? Or is it only contract tampering if WWE talk to them? Like,
well, see, I'm not as worried about tampering. My point is the inhumane comment, right? That would be a violation of contract on AEW's end. So to tweet that is, it comes across to me as frustration, which is fair. You signed a contract you wish you didn't have to work out. You wish you didn't
the
have
contract
to see
expired.
the end of. Right,
the contract expired and they added time because of an injury. Because if we listen to Phoenix, so this is the important part. This is the important part. Oh no, it is a clause within the contract, no doubt about it. But here's the thing about it.
You knew that was a possibility when you signed, that they could add time.
Yes, but that's not what his issue is, Clark.
No, but that was what my point was.
His issue, Phoenix's issue, is that time was added onto his contract because Tony Khan took too long to get him the medical help, which he guarantees him in his contract. So based on what we heard today, that seems to be what the issue is. Phoenix feels like the time which has been added on is actually AEW's fault. And yes, you can say it's a lawsuit. What you can also say is, by the time that lawsuit goes through, Rey Fenix is going to be a free agent. But Shard's coming here. I want to get Shard's thoughts on this situation because he's pumped up about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I made myself a surprise a pop out because I was in the comments. I'm home. Why not talk about it? But y'all make some valid points in regards to just the entire situation. If I'm honestly looking at AEW at this point, I do agree with a lot what Clark is saying. It is one of those damn if you do, damn if you don't situations. Contractually, if he is on, tied to them, they are contractually allowed to do that. Do I agree with these type of practices? Obviously not. I don't think it's a just thing to do. But at this point of the game, man, perception is the most important thing for AEW. Tony Khan has been a guy who's been spoken about in high regards from the beginning of AEW. giving opportunity for a lot of young independent wrestlers, a lot of talent who've kind of been, not big on the forefront, being in WWE and creating AEW and paying people well and doing all of this type of stuff. You want to keep that perception when you do things like this, whether he's wrong or right, whatever the situation may be. He doesn't look good in it. And just the matter of the fact is, man, just cut off the dead weight at this point, right? There's no good at the end of the day on either situation. Ray Phoenix and Penta, if they go to WWE, they're going to go to WWE, whatever the situation may be. But if, it makes people look at AEW in a negative light. People are thinking that, oh, they're playing shiesty games. Oh, they're not taking care of their wrestlers. You don't need that, man. You need to keep your image well. Take care of what you could take care of. Take care of those who you could take care of. If he wants to be out, he wants to be out. If he's gonna leave, he's gonna leave. Just cut it off at that point. That's kind of where I'm at with the situation. But it's gonna get messy. What's messy will only get messy, especially when you have Dr. What's his name? Featherweight Jones the third.
Yeah, Dr. Featherweight Jones.
I don't know where this guy came from. Did he just get his doc? Can you get a doctorate in journalism?
PhD? Yeah, you can.
You can get a PhD.
Okay.
Yeah, you can.
I don't. So is he a? Let me search. Let me get this guy.
He's got to be like a veterinarian.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know who
saves animals.
I don't know who this gentleman is. This is the first time I've ever seen his name pop up on X. Obviously, like, salute to the Meltzer, Fightful, all of them. I'm aware of them, right?
So he's a therapist.
See, that's a doctor.
Yeah, he's a therapist. No, he's got a PhD in forensic psychology as a psychotherapist. Okay.
Hello.
And now he became a wrestling.
If he's watching right now, don't break me down.
You know what? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you for a second. 9 times out of 10, you don't ever work the job you got your degree in. Now he got a doctorate. Yeah. I would assume that he specialized in something, but he is a dirt sheet reporter instead.
Did he get the doctorate in Ray Phoenix?
Oh, that is hilarious.
He just knows Phoenix.
He spent so many years in school doing something which is so difficult and ended up being a dirt sheet reporter. But shout out to him. He's clearly
You're welcome on the show anytime, Doc.
He's contracted to another side. He can.
No, we'd love to pick his brain. Or maybe he picks ours. I'm not sure how this works.
Yeah, he might tell us a lot about ourselves.
I mean, I don't know, but shout out to him. I mean, I respect it. But shots below the belt is, can Ray Phoenix voicing his frustrations on social media be a red flag for a potential WWE signing? The answer is yes.
I was thinking.
But the thing is, they've signed tons of other people who've done the same thing. So I don't actually think. I mean,
here's the thing that's strange about AEW and WWE. I don't think they care if they're bad mouthing the rival company, because Tony has signed people that have bad mouthed WWE, and WWE has signed people that have bad mouthed AEW. So in that situation, in theory, it could. But I wanted to say one thing also, because we talked about it amongst ourselves a little bit ago. I mean, he can say what he wants on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
I don't know what this whole contractually not, unless he signed an NDA, which I highly doubt. Anybody can talk about how they're just feeling.
But that's what's so interesting.
Well. Punk hinted before that there was something in the AEW contracts about talking about them publicly, but that's never been public. But Punk did hint at it.
Even then, this is what I find fascinating, though. Yes, I understand, Aaron, and I'm also wondering if it's a translation problem here too.
That could be something too.
Inhumane treatment is like, dude, like you would sue over that. Like if you're being treated inhumanely, like at any company, that would violate clauses in your contract that do protect you, that are unrelated to adding time.
You never get sent a doctor on top of it. That's kind of like
like
over there.
To be fair, it is actually. It's a really smart move by Phoenix or Penta, whoever was the one who
Is it?
contacted. No, the fact that they leaked it out of all the dirt sheet journalists they could have leaked it to, they leaked it to the one who's a doctor.
They did. They went to a doctor.
That's funny.
The only thing which would have been smarter is leaking to us, but we don't report dirt sheet stuff, so they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Unless they
We
wanted to
would've
come on the
just
podcast and talk about it.
On the show. Yeah.
But Numero One's mentioning I was talking about the robot and all that. Yeah, just I want to see the real Tony Khan, the 2019 Tony Khan. Basically, I want to see literally just normal Tony Khan when he's not, trying to be a businessman and all of this, right? Because if you're a bit more natural nowadays, people will form more of a connection with you. We've seen it. Triple H, when he's doing press conferences, he makes jokes and he's a lot more relaxed. He's a lot more natural about it. Dana White is the same. Sure, occasionally you can get in trouble with a few things, but if you're being real, if you're being genuine, you will connect with your audience more and people will respect it. And I think if we really saw the side of Tony Khan in all of this, that, their perception problem right now wouldn't, not in fact, not only that, I think if
I still don't understand how Tony Khan affects whether people watch the product. Like, he's only ever
he obviously does. He obviously does. He's the face of the product. He massively affects it. But here's the big thing, right? I actually don't know. I think a big reason Ricky Starks and Ray Phoenix feel comfortable bad-mouthing Tony Khan is because they know he's not going to respond to it. He'll be like, no comment. We're not going to talk about that. Maybe sign an NDA, whatever. They know he's not going to just come out here and reply to their tweet saying, hang on a second, what are you on about? We did X, X, and X. Stop making this up. Like, if he did that, right, which that's what I want to see from Tony. I want to see the real Tony Khan because I've said it before and I'll say it again. He seems like a great guy. He truly does. Like, I would love to have him on the show and ask him about this stuff.
I don't think that route solves the problem the way you think it does.
I don't
if
think
he starts
the
firing
problem,
back,
then
it's fire back, fire back,
Go
fire
defend,
back.
not fire back.
You don't want your leadership. You don't want your leadership player
fire back
in that
insults. Just defend yourself.
That's a perception thing to the fans, though, more than anything, because fans are antagonizing or having issues with him being at the top and him running the promotion. And
that's why Vince McMahon worked. That was the perception of Vince publicly, and then he took it on screen. That's what people thought of Vince.
Yeah, but if Tony Khan was turning this into money, I'd say something else, but that's not being done here.
Well, he hasn't. Neither did Vince, by the way, for a long time when people didn't like him either.
Yeah, and WWE was in a bad way, and that's when he decided to make the flip. He realized, okay, well, this is
a bad way. He let Bret Hart walk for more money.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they were in a bad way anyway. They were in a bad way then. They were losing. What are you on about? They were on a downward trend. When he turned heel, that was when they went up.
The ratings, they weren't not making money. They were running more shows.
Well, he said it himself. He said they were, they were not too far off.
Well, yeah, of course he's going to make himself sound like the Rocky of the story.
But it's true in many ways, right? People say this. All the successful businessmen of this era, what do they all have in common, especially in combat sports?
They don't care about public relations.
They've all got big... But they do. You say they don't, they do. They don't care about it in the same way of, they're trying to be all correct and everything, but they care about it. They do press, and they just say what they think. And people connect with that. And Tony Khan's got a lot to say, and he seems like a lovely guy. And he did this in 2019, and it was fantastic. But clearly he's got so many lawyers in his years since, and he's been burned by a few people. And I feel bad for him. But still, I want to see the real Tony Khan back, because I genuinely think, people will side with him more, because I think he is a likable guy. Just nobody is likable when you're giving political answers.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good point.
But shots below the belt saying AEW doctors are pulling a Kofi Kingston, saying you broke your neck. So
now that
it wasn't his
funny.
neck, thankfully, but that is a great comment.
My goodness,
that's pretty funny.
Fancy staying around, Shot?
Yeah, man, let's go. I'm here.
Hey, let's do it. Let's do it, eh? Next question comes from @WrestlingChico over on Instagram, who asks, will Finn Balor win the heavyweight championship? Of course, he's got the upcoming match against Gunther, was announced last week. Clark, I'll pass this one to you. Do you think we could see a new world heavyweight champion come Saturday?
And Finn Balor?
Yeah.
No. What? I couldn't believe this was a question. What do you mean? Absolutely no. Like, are you serious? Yeah, like, and pigs are gonna fly today too. No, no, no. Yeah, Gunther just wins. It'll be a good match. This will be a really high quality match of wrestling. But at the end of it, Gunther will stand tall with the title again. Finn Balor's not with no build, randomly taking the belt off Gunther. Stop it. No.
There's been a little bit of
Okay,
build. There's been a
what
little
about-
bit.
okay,
yeah,
hold
yeah.
up.
He's real.
What about
built up.
eventually? What about eventually? What about
Eventually?
Eventually,
They
yeah.
made him wrestle too early. Make him wait in the wings and make me think he can win. He's not going to win this match. Come on, stop it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
This
Stop it. He's either going to get choked out or power bombed or clotheslined.
To the person who asked this question, it was a good question.
It was a good question.
It was
I
a good
apologize.
question. I like the question, but
I'm just telling you, no way. No.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? There is a legitimate theory online that people have that Balor's going to win, and then at Mania they're going to do Balor versus Priest for the World Championship. I don't think that's. I predicted that last year and it didn't happen. I don't think it's going to happen this year. It sucks though because I really like Finn and he really does deserve that opportunity to really have a World Championship reign. But I don't know if he's going to get it.
He needs to have a World Championship run before he has a World Championship reign, bro. Come on, let's stop this nonsense.
When he did, he was feuding for a year last year.
Go defend your
and he
tag
lost.
titles.
That's true.
Stop it. Stop all this stuff.
You're not wrong there.
Go defend that, and then we'll talk about this later.
That's basically what Adam Pierce said last night. Numero One Superfly said, unfortunately, Finn Balor will not win the World Championship. Oh, he says the same thing as you. What he should do first is defend the tag belts. I mean, yeah.
That's the universal. Yeah. I think that might be the universal answer.
It's the thought.
Sorry, Finn. Hopefully soon.
Monster shout out.
The next question comes from at Cowan Albi on Instagram, who is asking, who do you think are the top 3 NXT stars with the most chance of becoming world champion on the main roster? Great question. Well, I've got 2 of the off-the-air guys with me today, 2 out of the 3. So, great panel to ask. Shard, I'll pass this one to you first. Who would you say are the top 3 NXT stars right now who have the most potential on the main roster?
Oh, man. So, first and foremost, big ups to NXT. I know a lot of people thought NXT after 2.0 was dead in the water. It has rose like a phoenix from the ashes, and it is doing amazing stuff currently. So you got to give it its credit. And obviously, me and Clark are both on this, so I'm not going to take all the heavy gunners because I want to save him some of the heavy gunners for sure. I'm going to give you 3 that I personally think are just straight up world champions, plug and play once they get on the main roster. Number 1 person is a Miss Stephanie Vaquer. I can't tell you enough how much I think she is a can't miss prospect when it talks about everything being a superstar. I think she looks absolutely amazing. Like, she comes out with a lot of presence. Her lighting of her entrance, all of that, the gear, with the horns, all of that, with the face paint, just looks like that aura word that's overused. She's got it. But once the bell rings, she may be the best women's wrestler in the planet when you talk about it. Like, I'm not trying to exaggerate. Like, she's just head and shoulders above a lot of people when it comes to doing stuff in the ring. I compared her to like the next big luchador in WWE since Rey Mysterio, since Eddie Guerrero. She's got that type of star quality. So I think she could be someone that could be a world champion once she's ready for it. The second person, I'm going to go and pick Trick Williams. I think you look at what LA Knight does. You look at what Jey Uso does. Star power is undeniable. Charisma is undeniable, especially in WWE and especially on the main roster. Trick Williams covets all of that in one ball, man. He is so over. He is so damn cool, man. He's one of these type of dudes I would just want to kick it with as a homie. like that type of situation, bro. Like just kick back, have a couple of drinks, and just chill with the dude. Like he's such a cool dude, man. And I just think the entrance, the being able to talk, all of that, he's already ready made. I think he could definitely be a world champion given the opportunity, if not a higher mid card champion, as soon as he gets there. The last person I'm going to say, and I'm not going to give the obvious one because I want Clark to say it because I know that's his homie, but I'm going to stay in the women's division and I'm going to pick someone that really was kind of the highlight reel this past weekend, and it's Sol Ruka. Sol Ruka just is the happy median between Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair when you talk about a professional wrestler, in-ring athleticism, all of that. She does stuff that is next level, that you put her in a Money in the Bank match. Initially, if you debut her, she's going to steal the show and people will fall in love with her at that very moment. You can let her win the match if you want to, and they're going to be glued to it. It's the same factor that Tiffany Stratton had. Just the sheer ability of what she can do in ring is in the athleticism, the high flying. Yeah, it's special. Plus, let's not forget, she looks awesome. She looks so damn cool as well, man. I love the nonchalant surfer girl personality. I think they can mold it more into a constructed character once they get onto the main roster. But man, she's got a lot of stuff going on that can make it. And I think there's a lot of women. This is one thing I must say, man. I think when one company zigs, the other one is gonna zag. I guarantee you in 5 years, the conversation about women's wrestling and women's wrestling timing and all that will be a little bit silenced, because I think if you look at NXT in the current juncture, all the major superstars are in the women's division. That means all the people coming up, the next big stars are going to be women, and you normally put the big stars on TV. So that's also a hot take I can give you.
Absolutely. I mean, I was just looking through the rosters right now, and I think there's about, if I'm being completely blunt, I think there's about 3 names in NXT who, on the male side, who I think are actually going to make it on the main roster and make it well. On the women's side, there's 6 I counted. And a lot of those, are new too, so it could, go up from there too. I think there's a lot more female talent in NXT compared to male talent right now. And like you said, hopefully that means a lot of good things for the future. Clark, who are your names?
I'm gonna give the obvious one that Shad left me because I love Shad's list, and I'm actually gonna give 3 that Shad didn't even give. I'm gonna give Obafemi. It's Obafemi. Obafemi could be the world champion tomorrow, and it wouldn't bug me. It doesn't matter, right? You can be the world champion of any brand, and I'm cool with it. Like I've said this analogy 1,000 times. He's the type of guy, if I ran into him at a bar and spilled his drink, I'd buy him a new one and say it was my fault. Like if he spilled mine, I'd do the same thing. It's just, that's how good Oba is. The other 2 are interesting because, like you mentioned earlier, Ben, it's the women's division.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I mentioned her yesterday. Kalani Jordan is the most underrated of the bundle. Nobody knows how good she is. Nobody knows how good Kalani Jordan is. She is a future world champion. Athletically, there are not women on any roster that can move as quickly or as athletic, as flexible, as strong as her in her frame. She bell to bell can be one of the best ever, and is getting better with promos all the time. Now I'm going to go stay in the women's division, though, and give you the promo version, not even the promo version, but Jada Parker sold me in a loss this week. Jada Parker is a future women's world champion. She can tell anybody that she's going to beat them and convince you it's the case. And that is something you can't teach. Jada Parker is so dang good at talking, and she just gets better by the minute in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And the moveset, the violence, I have never in my time covering NXT seen somebody gain more respect from myself in a loss than Jada did against Lola Vice.
Wow. Some big praise there. For mine,
no doubt.
Since Becky is not here now, I think she's the best women's wrestler on the mic in the WWE. And it's not close.
Easy.
Not close. Not even close.
Big take. I mean, I don't know if I can disagree. I really don't. For me personally, I'll go with two unique ones and one because I think this is the guy, the one. Oba what, Oma who, Oba Femi. Obviously, I think he's, you know, he's a future WrestleMania main eventer, isn't he? But somebody else who I think could be a future WrestleMania main eventer is Julia. You guys know me. I've been singing her praises for years since I saw her in Japan. She is phenomenal. And I cannot wait to see what she does on the main roster. And I think she could be the next NXT champion. But talking about the NXT championship, the current NXT champion, Roxanne Perez, can't forget about her. She's 23 years old. She's younger than any of the names we've mentioned here. Any of them. Only 23. She's 8 years younger than Stephanie Vaquer. She's 7 years younger than Julia. Roxanne Perez at the age of 23 with that much ability. That is scary. And I really do think that could be somebody we need to keep our eyes on as well. No doubt about it. We've got a few comments.
And I didn't say Tatum Paxley.
And I didn't say Nikita Lyons or Javon Evans.
Ooh,
Javon Evans is another
a
one.
great one.
That's another one. Another one, especially, you know, when he bulks up, he's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah,
Nowhere
like
gamers. That's my point. Like when you know, he grows into his body even more, like he's just going to be like just insane. Nowhere Gamers Chronicle says, hey to the Cap guy, referencing Clark. Shout out to you, Nowhere's Gamers Chronicle. What's up, Republicaholics? Oh, gosh, we're bringing that back again, are we?
It's like a Jerichoholics reference.
It's a comment from like 6 months ago now, I think it was. But number one is saying the top 3 NXT wrestlers to be future main roster champions are Roxanne Perez, Stephanie Vaquer, and Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry, I would love to see. I don't think he's going to be like a WrestleMania main event or anything. He's like 34. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. On that one,
make it seem like that is old, bro.
Yeah, dude, you gotta stop saying it.
We're
like
both
that.
around that.
I'm freaking 33.
When
You're not invited to my 34th birthday party.
Yeah, but when Oba Femi is like 20, what is he, 24? Like,
what is
who are
it?
you going to spend
you're
the time
uninvited
pushing?
to my 34th
Oba
When
Femi
when
or
is it
Ethan
too
Page?
old to main event the podcast?
You're just gonna rain on the parade. You're uninvited. The invitation is gonna get lost in the mail.
It's 34 is a perfect age to get called up to the main roster, but I can't see you main event in WrestleMania at that age. I'm sorry, I can't.
Joe Hendry is so likable. He's so over, but
He's got a great role, just not main event in WrestleMania.
I don't think the in-ring ability is WrestleMania at all.
No, although I'm a big Joe Hendry fan.
The choke slam, I like it, but it just reminds me of like when the Hurricane did the choke slam. It's like, this is tongue in cheek.
Yeah, it is. DCX Warlord says Ethan Page, Tatum Paxley, and Wesley. So 3 completely different shouts
Ethan
again.
Page, I see as like an NXT mainstay, as in like a coach. But it is funny. Somebody said it this morning, Ethan Page, and I was like, maybe, I don't know, United States title picture. But I don't see world champion.
When you saying somebody said it this morning, Ignacio said it on the show yesterday.
That's what I meant yesterday. I was listening to the show. I was watching tape. I'm like,
yeah, you on the show. WR. Oh, now I'm getting confused. I guess I make. I'm sorry. No, not I guess I make. I can't read.
I guess
I make beats. He's saying, I guess I'm not main event in WrestleMania then. Who knows?
I make beats.
Every
you, me, and Clark are
there
having a Royal Rumble in the retirement home, man.
That's exactly what we're doing.
See you at the real bingo hall.
We got it.
Nowhere Gamers Chronicles says, don't let Republicaholics. I can't say it, which is a big issue. Don't let Republic. How do you say it?
KO is right.
Republicaholics.
Republicaholics.
No IC. Get rid of that. Republicaholics.
Republicaholics.
There it is.
Republicaholics.
Nothing but net.
Nothing but net. Oh, gosh. Right, let's move on. Then we'll go through this last topic quickly, shall we? This question is submitted by Melissa.Robinson05, who asks, who should main event WrestleMania if The Rock doesn't? Now, of course, we don't know if The Rock's showing up or not yet. Who knows? But let's just say, in a scenario where he doesn't, I think he will. Who should main event WrestleMania? Let's go through this one quickly. Clark, what is your call?
This is if The Rock isn't there,
Yeah.
then it's got to be Roman Cody 3. Just fill it up again, Rocky us. No, I'm totally actually kidding on that. Please do not do that to us again. I actually think you do something kind of special here. If for some reason The Rock can't make it, you set it up so that maybe night 1, Roman and Solo wrestle for the Ulafala, and you have like that's the night 1 main event. You're able to pay that off. Maybe you have The Rock involved in whatever the results of that is. And then for night 2, I think it's really interesting, but I'm going to go with Cody, Punk, and Rollins in a triple threat match. And I don't know exactly how you get there, but I do think it's possible. Maybe that Heyman favor. And then you can pay that off towards SummerSlam.
Mine's really similar to yours, Clark. It really, really is. But I think we go fatal 4-way. I think we go those 3 guys, so Cody defending his title, but with Roman Reigns in the mix as well. Punk, Reigns, Rollins, Reigns, issues, Seth, Punk, issues, Seth, Cody. We've not seen that since, that infamous Hell in a Cell match. There's issues there. There's issues all around. These 4 guys, they don't like each other. Let's put them in one match and just see it implode. 4 major stars, WrestleMania, main event. That personally is what I want to see. But Shard, what do you want to see?
Okay, you know what? We're going to do a little differently. Enough of this Cody guy. Enough of this Cody guy getting all the light and getting all the shine. I know he's the champ. I know he finished his story. But we got to give light to somebody who's going to go on a retirement tour. We got to talk about a man that I'm not the biggest fan of. I had my quarrels with him growing up, right? I think the last time I liked him, he was the doctor of thugonomics. But you gotta have John Cena. In some light, I think John Cena will be in the main event. And the most John Cena-esque opponent and the most patriotic man that he is, Mr. Marine. Talk about the Rocky. Maybe this is a little bit of a Drago versus Rocky to John Cena. I got John Cena versus Gunther. I think that is going to be one of the main events. And it could very well be night 2 if Cody's storyline isn't a hot one. But I think you look at it, John Cena trying to accomplish the big accolade, being the decorated most title won for the World Heavyweight Championship, surpassing Ric Flair. I think that's a big moment, and I think that's a big statement match for Gunther if he can be that roadblock. So I'm going to put Gunther and Cena. On the other side, you know what, man? Let's bank in that favor real quick, and let's have a triple threat instead. Let's have Roman and Cody, but let's be that third outlier, somebody that Cody knows a little well from his AEW days, Mr. Phil Brooks. Let that be. Let's get Roman versus Cody, right? Let's have that be built up for the rematch. And Paul Heyman says, "I'm sorry, my tribal chief, I have to be a man of my word and give this favor." And you get CM Punk in it, and we have a triple threat match for that.
That would be incredible indeed. Have I frozen again, guys?
Yes,
yeah, but we can hear your audio.
Oh gosh, right. Let me switch this over then, shall we? I'm back. Can you hear me though? Yeah, you can hear me. Perfect.
Yeah, you're good,
right, that does bring us to the end of the stream, guys. Rosario saying, guys, don't forget to leave a like. Thank you so much, Rosario. Yeah, guys, please like and subscribe. We really do appreciate it. We have D6 Warlord wanting John Cena, Joe Hendry. We got shots below the belt saying Gunther will not be world champion by Mania 41 because Goldberg's going to defeat him before that. Nowhere's Gamers Chronicles saying Randy Cody. I'd be down for that. Shots below the belt says John Cena. Let's go. John Cena Gunther, I'm here for. Probably not night 2, but I would be here for it happening at WrestleMania. Rock appears, then Rock versus Cody. I mean, that Rock Cody Reigns is what I think it's going to be. But that does bring us.
I would have booked more Rock, but we were supposed to go Rockless.
Yeah, that was the point.
This was Rock free since
it's all sticks, no stones.
We more hip hop guys here.
All sticks, no stones is golden. Okay, I'm sorry. Take us home, Ben.
On that note, guys, we will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Peace.